UFC, I guess 323, 324, whatever the seasonal press conferences we're at right now. We're here with, I want to say probably the most talked about man in the UFC right now, Mr. Paddy Pimblett, Paddy the Batty. Let's start with this, because as much shit as you get for people saying like, oh, you know, he might not deserve it, this and that, you've always said, you're like, look, bro, I fight whoever's put in front of me. Whatever name comes in front of me on a contract, that's who I fight. So I feel like there's I almost feel like the criticism is a little bit unfair because it's not your decision. Like, you just fight who's in front of you.
That's it. And I've only ever done what the UFC's asked me to do, and every contract they've put in front of me I've signed. I've never missed weight, I've never pulled out, I've never fucked a fight up like some certain dickheads. So, you know, that's probably the reason I'm in this position now, because they know I'm going to turn up and I'm going to fight.
What do you think about that? So I guess we're not going to mention his name, but
Posh boy.
well, yes, but because there's a lot of people advocating for him. But do you think, like, because of what had happened with the Islam Makhachev fight, like, even though he just beat Dan Hooker, he headlined, he's kind of been, you know, slid out of the way?
It's not even just that though, is it? You know what I mean? Like, people talk about my last 3 wins. Yeah, it's Tony Ferguson, who was on his way out. But like, Dariush looks about 65. You know what I mean? He's got a full head of grey hair. He beat Dariush. He didn't beat Charles Oliveira. A lot of people didn't think he won that fight. On his way out to the cage, he punched a fan. Got banned. UFC probably had to pay a big fucking fee for the fella not to sue him. He then got his title shot and, oh, I've got a bad back. Fucking got beat by back pain when really he probably just couldn't even make weight. Sits out for fucking, 11 months. Gets offered the fight in the meantime against Gamrot, says no. When if I ever got offered the fight against someone who'd beat me, I'd be taking that fight immediately. Then fights Dan Hooker, headbutts him at the weigh-in. No, so like nearly ruined another main event. Like, you can understand why he's not in that position. And as much as I like Dan Hooker, lad, he's sound. He's shit. He can't grapple to save his life. He couldn't grapple if his fucking Mars life depended on it, lad. You know what I mean? If I had that guillotine wrapped up on arm, he's going unconscious. And if Dan Hooker's nearly guillotining you, you're shit at shit.
So now we get Justin Gaethje. I feel like that was a guy you were probably going to end up fighting down the line anyways. But looking back, did you ever think that, hey, we're going to be fighting for the interim title, or you know what I mean?
Well, I thought I was going to fight him in October. I thought I was going to fight him in Abu Dhabi in October, to be honest. But obviously that never happened, and now we're here. So I am eventually fighting him. I thought I was going to fight on this Jan 24th card, so I was preparing for Ilia for a couple of weeks, to be honest. Just doing bits of training for him. And then obviously we got told it's Justin, Ilia's not fighting, so obviously me and Ilia mightn't like each other, lad, but I wish him nothing but the best with all his family shit. It's nothing to do with fighting. But when I win this belt, I'm the champ for now. I don't care if it says interim on it, I'm the champ, he's out the cage, I'm the fucking champ.
I was just going to ask you that because you were on our Full Send podcast a little while ago, and you almost like made this whole thing happen because you were like, no, I don't want Ilia to win the title. And you were like, I want my first UFC lightweight title defense to be against Ilia Topuria. So the way things have panned out, you're viewing this fight against Justin Gaethje as the actual UFC lightweight title.
Yeah, that's it, because that's the belt what's in front of me, you know what I mean? I'm not going to do a Justin and throw it on the floor and say I'm waiting for the real one. This is the real one. While Ilia's out of the cage, this is the real belt, and I'm coming to take it on with me. That's coming back to Liverpool, lad. It's as simple as that.
And it's very respectful that you say that about Ilia Topuria, because obviously you guys have the beef, you have the back and forth and things like that. But what does that look like? Are you expecting to fight him like later on in the year? Do we even think we could see him, you know, before June or July?
No, you never know. He might end up having to vacate, and I'm going to get promoted to undisputed champ when I have the belt, you know what I mean? Because I'm going to win this interim belt, so that could end up happening. And I could defend it against little Posh ass if he's fucking got another win by then. Because I reckon Charles is going to fight Max Holloway. So if that happens, I could end up fighting the winner of that. So we're just going to have to see how the division plays out.
So we could have like a combined like UFC lightweight BMF champion.
Yeah, that'd be sick. That would be sick.
Did you ever think about that?
Nah, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, that would be sound, having 2 belts at once.
Paddy Pimblett, I think we've kind of gone over everything. We've talked about Arman, we've talked about Ilia, we've talked about Justin. Actually, I do want to ask about Justin Gaethje, because you kind of were like, you know, I don't really like what he did either about sitting out and things like that. What was the thought behind that?
I don't know, I just thought it was a bit mad, you know what I mean? As I say, I didn't want to sit out that long. I've sat out for, what, 9 months by the time I fight. I wanted to fight in October. I wanted to fight in Abu Dhabi, but it never ended up happening. And it was because I couldn't get an opponent to fight me. Arman had Uche, Max had Dustin, Charles had Gamrot, and Justin didn't have anyone, so I thought it could be Justin, and then it just never ended up panning out, lad, but it's ended up working out, so.
What would be a bigger press conference, Paddy Ilia or a guy that's rumored to be coming back, Paddy and McGregor?
It'd have to definitely be McGregor, like, you know what I mean? Ilia's a Timu version of McGregor, you know what I mean? He's a cheap version.
Listen, I think that's about it, man. You're going to see him headline at UFC 324 against Justin Gaethje for are we going to call it the official UFC lightweight champion?
Yeah, we are. Because while he's not in the cage, I'm the champ. End of.
You're going to see him in January, Paddy Pimblett. And, brother, good luck. It's always good to see you, man.